Welcome back to our channel. In this video, we are going to discuss previous year problems from chemical bonding. So this was the question, which of the following a set of molecule will have zero dipole moment. So this means if any one of this option if having any dipole moment, then we should not consider that option as correct one. So in first option, ammonia, beryllium difluoride, water, 1 comma dichlorobenzene they have given. Ammonia is having pyramidal shape, so definitely it will have some dipole moment. So option A will not be correct. Let's discuss option B. Boron trifluoride, hydrogen fluoride, carbon dioxide, 1 comma 3 dichlorobenzene. 1 comma 3 dichlorobenzene will be having some dipole moment. So definitely this will not be the correct option. Similarly, in option C they have given 1 comma 3 dichlorobenzene. So this option C also wrong. In option D, boron trifluoride, beryllium difluoride and carbon dioxide 1 comma dichlorobenzene. So the structure of boron trifluoride will be triangular planar. So here the movement of electrons will be in fluorine direction. So this is not having any dipole moment. So dipole moment will be 0 for this boron trifluoride. Similarly, this beryllium difluoride is having 0 dipole moment, and similarly this carbon dioxide is again having linear geometry. So here also dipole moment will be 0, and last one 1 comma 4 dichlorobenzene. So here Cl, here Cl, this will be the moment of electron and this will be the moment of electron. Again they both cancels out their effect and will get dipole moment 0 for this molecule again. So this is the correct option. Let us discuss one more. Which compound exhibits maximum dipole moment among the following? And they have given different substituents, different positions. So let us discuss option A. In option A, this NO2 and NH2, these two groups are present ortho to each other. So this NO2 and NH2, they both are having this type of electron movements. So according to definition of dipole moment, it is the product of distance between the opposite charges and charge. So Q into D. If distance is increased between two oppositive charges, definitely dipole moment will be increases. So distance between two charges increases, dipole moment will be increases. So if we observe here, we have only NH2 group, this is the movement of electrons, and in case of option C, this is the movement of electrons and NH2 will act as electron donating group. So towards ring this will donate electron density. So these two can be added to get dipole moment. So dipole moment will be maximum in case of C. Why? Because here charge separation between two oppositive charges is more, right? So option C will be correct. Here they both are present in meta position. So let us discuss one more. The shape of the or structure of XeF5 minus and XeO3F2 respectively are. So first option, pentagonal planar and trigonal bipyramidal, and second one octahedral and square pyramidal, trigonal bipyramidal and pentagonal planar, and option D, trigonal bipyramidal and trigonal bipyramidal. So to solve this type of questions, so this is the way. So here xenon will be the central atom, and in xenon we have 8 valency electrons. So I am writing 8 valency electrons, and we have 5 fluorine atoms. Each fluorine is monovalent. So I am adding each fluorine atom to each valency electron of xenon, and here again I have one minus charge. So I need to add one more extra electron here. These two will act as one lone pair and these two electrons will act as one lone pair. So here totally 5 bond pairs are present along with 2 lone pairs. So totally I got 7. So the number of 7 indicates here hybridization sp3d3. So if any molecule is having sp3d3 hybridization, it will have pentagonal planar structure. So this is the structure of XeF5 minus. Then what about XeO3F2? Again here xenon will be the central atom. So S4, 4. So each oxygen is divalent. So divalent, and here divalent, and again fluorine is monovalent. So F. So here I have totally 5 bond pairs. So the value will be 5. So when it is 5, the hybridization will be sp3d. So what is that geometry or structure? So that will be trigonal bipyramidal. So option A will be correct. Let us discuss one more. So this was the question. The group of molecules having identical shape, they have given 4 options. So in first option, PCl5, IF5, XeO2, F2, and in second option they have given BF3, PCl3, XeO3, and option C SF4, XeF4, CCl4, and option D ClF3, XeOF2, and XeFe3 plus. So if we observe option A, in option A we have PCl5, so clearly it is having trigonal bipyramidal, and if you observe IF5, it will be having square pyramidal structure. So definitely option A will not be the correct. And if you see option B, in option B this BF3 will be having triangular planar structure, and this PCl3 will not be have this triangular planar structure. Similarly this XeF3, in XeF3 it will be having pyramidal structure, so it's clearly option B also wrong. In option C, SF4 is having seesaw structure. If you take XeF4, this will be having square planar structure, and CCl4 exactly it is having tetrahedral structure. So if we take option D, so ClF3, Cl is having 7 valency electrons, and fluorine is monovalent. So here I got 3 bond pairs and 2 lone pairs, totally 5. So 3 bond pairs, 2 lone pairs, this will have T shape. And let us take XeOF2, again xenon will be the central atom, so it will have totally 8 valency electrons, and oxygen is a divalent, and fluorine is monovalent. So this is one lone pair, this is one lone pair. Again here I have 3 bond pairs and 2 lone pairs, so this will have T shape. And if we take xenon Fe3 plus, again 8 valency electrons, but due to this plus charge we need to take one less valency electron, that is 7 electrons only we need to take. So fluorine, these 2 electrons will become one lone pair, and these 2 will become one lone pair. Again 3 bond pairs plus 2 lone pairs, this will have T shape. In all of these 3, they all are having sp3d hybridization. So option D will be correct. Let us discuss this question. In which of the following pairs are isostructural? So to be an isostructural, they should have same hybridization. Let us discuss option D. In option D we have boron. Here boron generally will be having 3 valency electrons. Due to the negative charge on BF4, we need to add one more extra electron here. So fluorine, we have 4 fluorine atoms. So here I have totally 4 bond pairs. So the hybridization will be sp3, and that shape or structure will be tetrahedral. Similarly CCl4, again 4 valence electrons, Cl, 4 bond pairs, again tetrahedral. And NH4, in nitrogen generally we are having 5 valency electrons, but due to the plus charge on NH4 molecule we should take one less valency electron than usual. So here H, again 4 bond pairs, and this will also having sp3 hybridization and a tetrahedral shape. And PCl4, last one, 1, 2, 3, 4. Due to this plus charge we need to take one less valency electron. So Cl, again 4 bond pairs, and sp3 hybridization, tetrahedral will be the geometry or shape. So option D will be correct answer. Let us discuss one more. The correct order of C bond O bond length among CO, CO3 2 minus and CO2. So three species they have given: carbon monoxide, CO3 2 minus and carbon dioxide. If we take this carbon monoxide, between carbon and oxygen here we are having triple bond, and if we take this carbon, this carbonate ion, so in carbonate ion carbon is having one double bond with oxygen and two other oxygens are having single bonds by carrying negative charge, and if we take this carbon dioxide, it will be having two double bonds with oxygens. Now here if we take this carbonate anion, in this carbonate anion we have more single bond character. We have more single bond character in the sense more will be bond length. More single bond character, more will be bond length. So we know that bond order is inversely proportional to bond length. So here bond order will be 3 and here 2, it is approximately 1.5 something. So this will be having more bond length followed by this carbon dioxide and finally carbon monoxide. So option C will be correct.